Greetings and welcome to the Astronomy Picture of the Day podcast. Today's picture for April 11th of 2025 is titled "The ISS Meets Venus." So what do we see here? Well, let's go ahead and take a look at the image. There's two objects in it, and let's turn it sideways just to make it a little bit more visible here. And we see the two objects are, one is a very thin crescent object, and the other is a little blurry, but is actually has a little different structure to it. And in fact, the object to the left now is the planet Venus. Venus does go through phases just like our moon, as does any object that comes between Earth and Sun. So Venus and Mercury, the two innermost planets, are in between the Earth and the Sun, and therefore they will go through a complete cycle of phases just like our moon does. Now, of course, they're not visible to the naked eye, so you can't just see them going out and looking for them. But when you have a telescope, you can see those phases. And that was one of the things that Galileo saw in the early 1600s. And one of the pieces of evidence that showed that Venus at least had to be orbiting the sun, because that was the only way it could go through the complete cycle of phases. Now, the other object there is the International Space Station. So if you plan it just right and know when the objects are going to be in the area, you can actually snap a set of pictures and get one like this to be able to see the two of them very close together. Now you'll note that they look almost the same size here. And of course, that is because the International Space Station is much closer than Venus is. Venus would be about the size of our own Earth. The International Space Station, of course, is much larger, about the size of a football field across. So the only difference being that one of them is in orbit only a few hundred kilometers away, and the other is millions of kilometers away at the same time. And that makes the much larger object appear smaller. And it is a similar effect that we see with our own sun and moon. While they appear the same size in the sky, they are really vastly different in sizes. Our moon being only about a quarter the size of Earth, while the sun is many times larger than our own Earth. But because of the relative perspective of distance, then they appear almost exactly the same size in the sky, giving us eclipses. But here we get to see those two objects in the sky, the crescent Venus, a very thin crescent Venus visible, and the International Space Station, as it happened to pass by that same direction in the sky from this location at the same time, able to get both of them in one image. So that was our picture of the day for April 11th of 2025. It was titled "The ISS Meets Venus." We'll be back again tomorrow for the next picture. So until then, have a great day, everyone, and I will see you in class.